On February 24, 1978, 5 young men from Yuba City set out on what should have been a simple night. They were excited. There was a basketball game that evening in Chico, and they had tickets. The group was known for their close friendship and routine lives. Everything about that night seemed normal, until it wasn't. After the game ended, the 5 friends began driving back home, but somewhere along the way, they made a strange turn. Instead of heading home, they drove deep into the mountains toward Plumas National Forest, a place they had no reason to go, a place that at night in winter was extremely dangerous. Days later, their car was found on a remote mountain road. It wasn't crashed, it wasn't damaged, it was simply abandoned. Even more confusing, the car still had fuel, the doors were unlocked, one window was rolled down. There was no sign of struggle. It looked like they had just stepped out and walked away, into the freezing wilderness. That night, temperatures dropped below freezing. Snow covered the mountains. Why would 5 people leave a working car and walk into such deadly conditions? No one could explain it. Rescue teams searched the mountains for weeks, then months. What they eventually found was deeply disturbing. One of the men's bodies was found miles away from the car. He had died from hypothermia. But this was only the beginning. Months later, searchers found a Forest Service trailer hidden deep in the mountains. Inside was another body. But this discovery raised even more questions. The man inside the trailer had survived for weeks. There was food inside the trailer, enough to keep someone alive, but most of it was untouched. He had starved while surrounded by supplies. Even stranger, one of the men had been wearing another man's shoes. Why? What had happened between them in the mountains? Some of the group were never found. They simply vanished into the wilderness. No trace, no explanation. But they were familiar with the area, and the road they took made no logical sense. There was no evidence of another person, no footprints, no struggle. Some believe they experienced sudden fear or confusion, but what could cause 5 people to abandon safety at the same time? The case of the Yuba County 5 remains one of the strangest unsolved mysteries in modern history. A simple night turned into a nightmare, a car left behind, a journey into darkness, and 5 lives forever lost in the mountains. They left a perfectly working car and walked into the freezing night. But the real question is, what made them do it?